Hello and welcome to episode 6. The numbers are really getting bigger and bigger, aren't they? Yeah, not so much. Alright, well. So first things first. I know I didn't necessarily have the schedule I set. It didn't really stay the same. I uploaded a video on Wednesday and I haven't uploaded another one until this one, which hopefully it will be out sometime today, which is Monday. So you'll be able to see it on Tuesday, and if you're seeing this, then you're already watching it, so it's no big deal. So, yeah. Sorry about that. I'm working on it. I'll explain, well, you'll probably just see why later, but, you know. So we're here now because one of the things that I did is I got tired of using less than awesome tools. So ignore my armor for now. Different story. So you see, these are my old ones. My Diamond Fortune, which I'm still using. The Fortune pick. Yeah, you use it enough, but not a whole lot. And this one still has a lot of durability. There's no way in heck I'm just going to, replace it and never use it again. So I'm going to use this one all the way down, and then I'll remake that one. That's one I picked up from a villager for 22 emeralds in a book. Decent little starting pickaxe, kind of cool. This is my old Silk Touch pick, which is all the way down. And then I have my old diamond axe and my old diamond shovel. Silk Touch, which I found out you still get like leaves and stuff from this. If you use this on leaves when you're going through and getting trees and stuff. So it's not entirely useless, but overall I still don't want it on an axe. If I want some leaves, I'll use some shears with, shears really. But yeah. And the Fortune 3, this one actually, every single gravel you break will give a flint. So it's kind of useful in that sense. If you need flint for something, you can get Fortune on your shovel and it will always give it to you. But these are my old tools. And like I said, I was tired of using crappy ones. I wanted them to be set up how I want them. So here's Silk, Unbreaking 3 and Silk Touch. Chopper, Unbreaking 3 and Efficiency 4. I don't need anything faster than Efficiency 4. I don't see a reason for it. When I'm going through wood, this breaks fast enough. In this way, I'll be able to repair it longer with, not Efficiency 5. Same thing for the shovel. Got Digger, Unbreaking 3, Efficiency 4. My sword, Looting 3, Sharpness 4. Again, I don't see a point for Sharpness 5. I kill him fast enough with Sharpness 4. And it just works. And Unbreaking 3. I got Unbreaking 3 and Efficiency 4 on my worker. Which eventually these will end up getting Efficiency 5 when I start getting some beacons. That way I can get Insta-Break and maybe even do a mine through Insta-Break, an Insta-Break mine or whatever. But right now, Efficiency 4 is more than adequate for it. I'm not too incredibly worried about getting, one extra thing for that. And then my bow. Finally got my bow back. Unbreaking 3, Power 5, and Infinity. This is already too expensive. I'll have to remake this as soon as it goes all the way down. Pretty sure I will. I'll definitely test that first, but pretty sure I will. So, yeah, I've been busy there. Also have a bunch of other books. I have my power books, Smite, Blast Protection, Fortune 2, Respiration. Now these are all not final stage books. These are my final stage books. I have 2 Silk Touch, a Fortune 3, a bunch of Sharpness 4s. Like I said, I don't see a point for Sharpness 5. So in my book, these are maxed. Feather Falling 4, plenty of those. Plenty of Protection 4s. Aqua Affinity, I have a lot of. This one is just another Feather Falling, but as you can see, I have plenty of those. And plenty of these. I'm not going to run out of either of them, so I figured I would just kind of stick it in with this just to keep the levels even, just for my OCD. There's a Projectile Protection 4, Knockback, and one more Unbreaking. That dude sounds really close. There's a magma cube up there somewhere. Now, now that I showed you that bit, which, yeah, that took quite a bit of it. But there's some other stuff that I've been working on. That, yeah, the base went under construction again. And you see this time, I kind of have a little deck out back. This part right here, I'm not a huge fan of it. It's probably going to change at some point. I don't know exactly how yet. But this part probably will change. This is not meant to look like stairs, but it really does. It just goes up to the roof. I guess if I ever want to get to my roof, I can. But, yeah, inside here's the nether room. I wanted access. The problem with the old design is that there wasn't a whole lot of exits or entrances. There was plenty in the front, but none in the back. And since I had a new idea for how I'm going to expand the base, I'm going to need exits at the back. So the new nether room, I basically backed up the corruption, put some glass in. It makes it look a lot more open and not so closed off to, you know, this beautiful view. You know, I got the ocean and stuff. But yeah, I wanted it to look a lot more open. And I wanted access to get downstairs rather than having to run all the way over there. So there's also ladders over on this side. The problem with them now is that they're not the easiest thing to spot. And there's a deck that circles all the way around over here. Goes around the front. I still have my crops there. Like I said in last episode, they're probably going to change. I just haven't decided how yet, so I left them for now. You know, the front really didn't change too much. I added in a little bit in here. You know, built up the sides of my gardens or whatever. You know, but you can still kind of just walk down without destroying any crops. So that's good. These crops are destroyed because of a water stream that got away from me. But let's go ahead, head on inside. And this is the new back area. Got my furnace. This is just temporary. That'll be built out, be much bigger and located elsewhere. But yeah, so you know, I've got the glass. Like I was saying, it seemed a little too closed off. There's way too much quartz. So those of you who are thinking that, bravo. I agreed with you after a while. But now I really like this. It gives me the exits, which I'll explain why in just a second. But you know, I got the glass, so it looks a whole lot more open. You know, possibilities are endless. Almost. Now, the reason I wanted exits is because instead of only digging down under the water and only building out into the water, underwater, I want to do that as well as have one, you know, on this level and one on this level. So my base will kind of expand all the way back, you know, in this direction on all three levels. Now, I'm not sure how that's going to look, and that currently is just a concept, an idea I have in my mind. If I start doing something like that and it doesn't look, you know, the greatest, then it will change again. But for now, you know, that's what I'm going to try to run with. And as you see, all that stuff I was doing in the pigment farm, I have a bunch of gold. As you can see, I did also get quite a few gas tiers, magma creams. These are just from that experience in the fortress. Same with that, and I was kind of exploring a little bit in the nether. That's where those came from. I do have one wither skeleton skull. Gonna need a few more of those. And a lot of this rotten flesh, yes, I'm keeping it. And for those of you who do not know, there is a villager who will accept this in return for emeralds, which is why I keep it. And it is why I have... Oh, apparently I spent all my emeralds on stuff. Couldn't tell you what I spent it on now. Actually, you know what? It might have been that diamond pickaxe that I got. Unbreaking 1 diamond pickaxe. But hey, at least I didn't have to use mine. I don't really have a whole lot of diamonds. So this is the new base. And I've come up with an idea. I don't know how well it will work. But in the nether, you know, I wanted to get over to the village to trade in some of the rotten flesh, and it was a pain. So I decided to make a portal. Now, when I was getting the coordinates of where I wanted the portal over there, you know, it is the X and Y coordinates are divided by 8. However, they're negative. And when I was using my little calculator thing to divide them by 8, I didn't include that. So I didn't pay attention quite well enough. And instead of going negative that answer, I went positive. So I actually ended up coming out over here. And in there's a cave. It actually expands quite far. And so I got a few things from that. But then I went over here. Hi, lava. Hopefully they don't ever make the drips hurt you. I'm hoping that always stays a warning. Because half-hearted damage just by running under here would probably not be the best thing. But I got the portal in the right place. And I've set up a little bit. Just a little bit. Whoa, hi pigmen. There's a couple of them. So I have a couple librarians here. This is the one that does the Fortune 3 book. Oh, 44. That's where they all went. I thought it was 22. Oh, it was 22 for the diamond pickaxe. That's a knockback too. He's not all that special. He'll be replaced unless his... I believe they both give 2 books. So I'll have to check on their books to see exactly what they're going to give. But, yeah, so I got 2 librarians so far. I have my armor. I have my toolsmith, which is where I got the diamond pickaxe. And that's only 13. My numbers are way off. I should stop guessing how many emeralds I spend where, because apparently I'm just so wrong. And here is this guy. The reason I like him is because it's only 36 rotten flesh for an emerald. Which is, that's a good number. Usually, I wouldn't say usually, but other ones can go all the way up to 39, sometimes, rarely 40. So this is the low end. But also that is because I like to get glowstone. And these guys can sometimes be like 16 for an Eye of Ender. So that's actually a pretty decent price as well. But this is what I like. Normally it's 1 emerald for 1 glowstone. This guy gives, you know, 2 glowstone for 1 emerald. Which is quite awesome. So if I really need glowstone, I can come to this guy. He is definitely going to stay. The other ones are kind of play by ear. As soon as I unlock to see what they've got to offer, then we'll talk. So, since I went into that other cave that I was telling you about, I may have gotten other stuff, but as you've seen in earlier episodes, if you've seen them, I have horrible luck with diamonds. I don't know why. I'm not sure. So my idea is to get a bunch of these guys and unlock them all to the point where I can get some diamond gear. And I want to get, you know, one that does the diamond pants, the diamond boots and stuff, with, if they're enchanted at that point in time, with a decent starter enchantment, like protection or unbreaking, so I can just build and add to it, and it's not too big of a deal. I don't have to worry about some random enchantment always being on my gear. However, in order to do that, I need more villagers. So I've come up with a little system in my concept world that will do just that. It will give villagers as quick as possible. You know, yeah, okay, you could throw in a whole bunch of more villagers and get them even faster, or, you know, add in a bunch more doors to support all of those new villagers, things along those lines. But overall, for the amount of villagers that I have in that starter area, it's pretty good. It is pretty good. So I'm going to hop over there. I'm going to show you what I've got going on. I'm going to explain it. And then I'm going to start building it over here somewhere. And, yeah. I'll see you in a second in my concept world. The concept world. Love being able to fly. First thing is just a note. When I was explaining what I was doing in... lost my thoughts for a second. When I was in the Nether explaining how to find the portal, I said you divide the X and Y by 8. For those of you who are... It's X and Z, dude. It's X and Z. Yes, it is X and Z. Y is the vertical. As you see, my portals are in the right place. So Z is what I meant, but Y is what came out. So real quick, this is the base built out in this world. And the reason I want to show it to you is because this view is really good, and I can't really show this to you without a whole lot of digging or building out over water and then pillaring up kind of thing. But here I can just kind of show it to you. I think that looks really cool. Even the purple and blue kind of still mix well. It's very nice. I like it. So if you can imagine from here, you got two little spokes or whatever coming out from the top level and the bottom level. And, that's where the expansion is going to be. I don't know if it's going to be left open or have walls or... I don't know any of that at the moment. But, yeah, I like that little view. It's good stuff. So first I'm going to show you this little test area, if you will. As you see, apparently I have 5 villagers over here. And this. Now this is a simple version that will work. I was testing to see if villagers were also pushed across ice into the next stream, like you can do with item entities, but you can't. It doesn't work. They always fight to get back, so there's always going to be one here at least. Well, usually. Apparently this one might have wandered into that stream and got pushed, but yeah. But this is the concept. Apparently I have an iron golem in here too. I didn't know that would happen. I probably should have guessed that that would happen, but I didn't. I'm not sure. That might happen in the other one too. But this is just a simple version. You can build something like this out, although when you drop out these guys, and the little guys that come out here, I'll be explaining how I make them run out and things like that on the other one, because it's a little easier to see from there. But once the water runs out, dig down one here and then keep it going, and then dig down and keep it going all the way out kind of thing. I already had the idea to redesign it completely before, this was actually tested. So this was just a quick little build I decided to do. But as you can see, even this one works kind of well. I believe those guys, though, you want to drop them down a few, because I think they're actually still being counted in the totals. You want to actually... The best thing to do is drop them down a few levels, like 6 levels or something. So that way they're not counted as, as part of the village total, and therefore the villagers will continue to make them, endlessly until you make them stop. But this contraption, before I get too close, this is what will be built. And don't worry, yes, in this world it is all built out of dirt. It just happens to be the block that I was using at the time. One downfall is that it is really loud, which I'm going to show you, but then I'm going to quickly turn down the noise. Constant clicking. That annoying sound. Okay, let me back away. So let's turn down my block volume. Now, first things first is this system here, you see up here. This is where all the villagers are. That's where the crops are. And those of you who have seen dispensers before, you probably know exactly what's being spit out of them. But I'll go through that in a minute. But as you see, here's the doors, there's the villagers, there's the crops. And yeah, that's the basic part. Now all of these dispensers, they all have bone meal in them. Now, as you could imagine, filling all of them up with bone meal every time they ran out would be quite the hassle. So I went ahead and just added that part into the design. And what you do is you come here and you just drop in a whole bunch of bone meal here. And what this does, as you can probably see the, mine carts, is they come down. Now, when they do, they come all the way down here, dropping what they have. And sorry about the glitchiness. Must be a lot of entities. Something about this is causing a lot of FPS dropping, which may be a problem on the server. I'm going to have to play with it and see what I can't come up with. But for now, we're just going to ignore it and keep going. So it comes all the way to the end, like you saw it do. It bounces off this side. And when it hits this, this is started here with a whole lot of delay. So the minecart will go all the way down over here, and it'll stop on this block, which means it's always collecting from this chest, just like that. And then it waits for this signal to get all the way down here, and then it sends it on its way. And then it bounces back, and there's that signal, so it's going to come back down, collect more, and it just does that on both sides. They're identical on both sides. And this is just, it kind of seems to be a pretty efficient way to do things. So that is what is filling up the dispensers forever. And all you have to do is just drop the bone meal into this chest. So once we get the Skelly farm up and running, I can just kind of go and collect all the bones that I want to collect, drop them all into this chest until this thing is filled to the brim. And these crops will always be grown. Now there is still a bottleneck with this. You see when they plant one, or pick and then plant one, it's pretty much instantly grown, so there's always going to be crops for them to pick. Which, if you don't know the new system, if villagers eat enough, I believe it's 12 carrots, I'll explain why I'm using carrots in a minute, then they're willing to breed. But also, they throw whatever extra they have to other people. So they basically auto-balance their inventories. So all of them will always be willing to breed, except there is a bottleneck. After they've bred, they don't want to do it again for a while. But that's something you can't really work around, which is why I say it is as fast as it can be. Now, I'm using carrots because, as you see, there's more of them. They're getting busy. I'm using carrots because if you use wheat, and you could also use potatoes, it would work the same way. But I don't know, I just like carrots better than potatoes, I guess. Shoot me. Don't shoot me. That wouldn't be very fun. But this way, since carrots are the food source and the seed, even if their inventories are completely full with carrots, they're still going to be able to throw it to their buddies and stuff like that. If you use wheat, you get the wheat and the seeds. Which means eventually these guys' inventories will fill up with seeds and they won't be able to get enough wheat. And then they will stop picking crops because their inventories will be full. Now, that was something that was true in earlier snapshots. I'm not sure if it still is. I mean, feel free to test it on your own, but I figured I'd just play it safe and use carrots or potatoes, and I chose carrots. And I was lying about liking carrots more than potatoes, just so you know. So, that's the basic idea. Now, these guys right here, the little ones, let's see if you can catch him trying to do what he wants to do. There he goes. Now, the reason this works is because villagers and passive mobs and everything, it doesn't matter. Any entity that has some sort of AI looks for an exit if it is completely blocked off. And the reason for that is because when they try to move, they pick a random block around the area and try to move there, and then they find a path to it. So since it's a somewhat small area, it's a lot easier for the children to pick a spot out here somewhere and then pathfind to it via this exit or the exit on the other side. Which means they're going to try to run out. And they're going to fall down this hole here. Because of the open trapdoors that I have here that make the AI think that it is a flat ground. So they're going to try to run out and around, basically. But if you didn't understand that explanation, then basically all entities look for an exit. That's the basic gist of it, is that all entities will look for an exit of some sort. Now these guys just can't get out because, they're 2 blocks tall and it's one block. So it is what it is, you know. Now what happens is those children fall down this chute, which there's water here going all the way into this middle area here. And they come down just like that, and they drop right here in the middle. So this is where, and this is the part I haven't fully worked out yet. I'm not sure exactly how to view what these guys have. Because if I break one of these blocks, then the little guys can get out. They can just jump right up on top of it, you know, so I can't look at it. There's another one. And the other thing is that this is far enough down. It should be anyway. So that these guys will endlessly populate. And they will always get villagers down here. But as soon as I find a way to get these guys out once they're grown, and only once they're grown, which is going to be a bit of a hassle, I guess, then, you know, then I can start sorting or filtering them and bring them into an area once they're grown and decide whether or not I want to keep them or not. So that's the basic system here. I believe there was something else I wanted to tell you about, but I don't remember what it is at the moment. Oh well. In this system here, it's pretty simple, and there might be easier, less resource-intensive ways to make all of these trigger. The reason I chose this one was because it is easy, very easy to understand, and through other means with more repeaters or other systems, these would tick at different times. So instead of hearing a steady click, 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 click like you're hearing now, it'd be all randomized and it would be more irritating than it is now. This method, for the most part, makes them all at the same tick. And this is the timer here. Just, you know, the hopper timer bouncing an item back and forth. So these are actually alternating sides, just like that. If a golem does spawn in here, I'm not exactly sure, you know, how that will work. I don't know yet, nor have I figured a way to populate this top area here. So I do have some other things to work out, but right now I think it's okay. I also need to figure out a way to put this into the chest. So, seeing as that the first video was about 15 minutes long and this one's about 13 minutes long now, this video is going to be over 30 minutes and I'm going to have to skip right to the finished product over there in the town. And I'm also going to go ahead and wait until I have a few down here to pick from. And I'm also going to try and find a way to do all of the issues that I mentioned. So sit tight and I will be back in a second to show you what it looks like on the server. All right. Here we are over at the village and everything's built out. Now, as you see at the bottom, I showed you in the concept world, these are the crops. The dispensers are down there. You can't really see them from these angles. You got the doors, you got the trap doors that are over there. And that process is pretty much the same. The mine carts are still going. All the other circuitry and stuff, that's all still there. That is working. But there are a couple changes that I will go over. The water channels down below. Currently, they're meeting in the middle and then sending them, not that direction, this direction, over into here. And what this is a water vader, I guess. They're quite popular. If you don't know about them, basically you alternate levels. One level of water. Hey, Rome. One level of signs. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow 2-block high entities to swim up while still having air to breathe on the way. But you notice I said 2-block high. Which means when the children are born, they're going to go down into this thing. And the first level is all signs. Which means children are not tall enough to get to the top. They're not tall enough to start swimming all the way up. So basically what that is it's an adult filter. Only the adults will be able to get to the top of this. Now at the top of this, there's another water channel current thing that's going to push all of them into this hole. They're all going to stack on top of each other. And I already have my plans as far as what's going to happen to them after this, which you'll see in a future episode. But as you notice, there aren't any villagers here yet, like I told you there would be. The reason for that is because while I was down there, it appears the zombie friends decided to come and make some new friends. They wanted to increase the size of their army, I guess. I don't know. But all the villagers are gone. I guess they all got turned to zombies, and then when daylight hit, they all died. Because I came up once, and they were all gone. Goodbye. So, the next episode is probably going to be me going through. I'm going to show you the whole process of catching a zombie villager, curing them, and then moving them here. The reason I want to do it that way rather than finding another village is because, well, Rome's on top of a tree. That's Rome. Diamond armor. Yeah, you can probably see him. Anyway, more often than not, you'll see, YouTubers and stuff. They will just kind of go to another town, or they'll already be at the village and stuff. But since my village is currently unpopulated, I'm going to show you how to get villagers if you don't have a nearby village and you don't have, an existing villager population. And I'm going to do that through curing zombies, like I was saying. So I'm going to show you the whole process. It's also something you don't see on any other YouTubers' videos. So, yeah. This chest here, this is the chest I was showing you before. It's basically just extended all the way up to the top. This is where you would put the bone meal, and it would go all the way down into those dispensers, pretty much insta-growing all of the carrots that are down there. The other thing is this farm, it doesn't require that bone meal. You don't have to have it. So if you don't have any bone meal, it's not a big deal. It will be less effective, less efficient, but it will still work. You will still get villagers from it because obviously the crops will still grow, and the villagers will still continue to pick them, and so on and so forth. Breed away. Have happy times. So yeah. The next thing is that excuse me. Some of you might have thought to put this in the spawn chunks. And for those of you who do not know about spawn chunks, as long as somebody is in the overworld, the spawn chunks are always active. Certain things still process no matter where you are in the overworld. Those spawn chunks are still operating, such as the chicken farm. I'm still getting meat from them, from that chicken farm. So, but this situation, the reason this is not going to be in the spawn chunks, the reason it won't work as well as some people might think, is because crops do not grow in the spawn chunks. So while the villagers would still breed, they would only breed a couple more times once you left those spawn chunks. And then they would just stop. So honestly, it wasn't worth carting them all the way over there for a couple extra, children right away like that. So I just decided to leave it over here. Of course, I also thought the villagers would be here, but hey, when you're given lemons, make orange juice. Anyway, so that's the idea for what's going to happen. In the next episode, I'm going to show you how to do all that stuff. And then the one after that, I will build out the rest of this. And hopefully pretty soon we'll be able to sort through some villagers, get some good stuff. And we can see what we can get. But until then, apparently I have no shoes. This is the end of the episode. This one. Long episode. Sorry about that. I know I talked quite a bit in the beginning of this. Do I have my sword? I don't think I have my sword. Pickaxe will work. So, If you liked the video, click that like button. You want to see more? Like I said in previous episodes, I will be doing this for a while. I know I haven't really kept to the schedule all that much. I'm trying, but from now on, that's what I'm going to try to do, but don't expect it too much, because apparently I'm not too great at keeping up with the schedule at the moment. I will put them out as often as I can, but yeah, we'll see how well I can get at how good I can get at keeping up with the schedule in future episodes. But until the next video, this is Xogue, and I'm out.